Well, welcome to the call, everybody. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. I'm up here in beautiful countryside Fargo, North Dakota, and Andrea's up there in Michigan. Today we're going to talk a little bit about stress.
Yes, something that many people suffer from, I believe, in today's
Oh,
world.
God, can you believe how many people feel stressed out every day?
Every day. I know a few.
I've got my Sizzle coffee.
Awesome. I've got my Fizzle ripped.
I added my CBD to my coffee.
Awesome. That's
Right
like,
on.
what is it, that fat coffee some people make. Instead, you're doing CBD coffee.
CBD. I got my CBD coffee.
CBD.
Because I added it to it. But, I usually will take and I'll swirl it around in my mouth because you get the best effect from it.
Ah.
But today I decided to throw it in the coffee just to see what it tasted like.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It tastes good. So, everybody, if you're joining us on Facebook today, give us the thumbs up, give us a smiley face, share this with people. Let people know that we're discussing something that really is important. And it's I guess, Andrea, I'm hoping that by the time we finish up today, people will understand the major symptoms of stress. Maybe they'll understand the three causes. Did you know there's three causes of stress?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
Oh, we'll tell you. And then I think what most everybody is going to be on the call about is they want to find out what can they do to lower their stress.
Well, they should, because stress causes all kinds of havoc in the body.
It does. It does. It causes all sorts of problems. Before we really get into the discussion of stress, what do you think are the three main causes of stress?
In today's world?
Three main causes of stress. And it really doesn't have anything to do with the world. It's just, what's the three causes of stress?
I would say the environment.
Okay.
A person's environment.
Okay. Let me run with that one, and I'll just kind of give you a clue what I'm looking for. Okay. Chemical stress, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We're exposed to tons of chemicals.
Yeah, so that would be, like you said, your environment.
That's kind of like oxidative stress then, right?
Well, I think oxidative stress would be how it affects your body. It causes oxidation, but chemical stress like toxicity, right? Even things that are good for you can sometimes increase stress just a little bit.
I saw a report once. They did a study over in Britain and tested people who were incarcerated for crime and discovered that they all had really high levels of lead in their brain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's interesting. So if they would have used unleaded fuel, they probably wouldn't be criminal.
Right. You got to pump that unleaded fuel.
Unleaded paint. We shouldn't have shipped all of our leaded paint to England.
That's right. Which we probably did.
No, we actually sent it to China, and then China painted all of our kids' toys. They painted all our kids' toys and they sent it back to us.
Right.
So that's one kind of stress. The other kind of stress, of course, is physical stress.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in a motorcycle wreck 12 years ago. That's causing physical stress in my body. When I took my dog for the walk this morning, we walked for a mile this morning. When I took the dog for the walk, I'm walking on a leg that really doesn't have good biomechanics. That's stressing out my body.
Right.
If you've got a job that requires you to lift 300-pound objects over and over and over again during the day, you think that might cause some stress?
Yeah, well, just this week I experienced that because all last week I helped at my son's house where he's remodeling. So I was going up and down a 12-foot ladder all the time. I was hauling lumber here and there, denailing things, moving lumber, and then Thursday I stood in line on cement for like 5 hours to get into a rally. And like 2 days ago, my body was still aching. Like I had run out of Sizzle Ripped, and Sizzle Ripped has a perfect blend of amino acids that repair muscle, right? So my body was under stress because my muscles had been stressed.
That's right.
And I didn't have all the great stuff to repair them. So I've been drinking it for like 36 hours now, and it alleviated a whole lot of my pain. So that's just an example of physical stress on the body.
That's right. So previous injuries, accidents, workloads, things like that, a bad bed, right?
Oh, yeah.
A bad bed can cause physical stress. Standing on hard surfaces for long periods of time can cause physical stress. All those sorts of things. You've got the idea of physical stress. So the type of stress, when I talk about stress, that people think about the most is probably what?
Mental stress.
Emotional stress, right? Mental, emotional. That's what people think of. They think, oh my God, my wife stresses me out. My job stresses me out. My husband stresses me out. All these different things. That's what they think of when you talk about stress, right? When you heard that we want to talk about stress this morning, isn't that kind of what you thought I'd be talking about?
Mostly, yes.
Right?
That's where people are at with a lot of stress in their lives. It's all the emotional stuff. It's the bills that have to be paid. It's the kids that require 24/7 care. It's animals. It's all your workload. It's all kinds of mental stress that we have on our body.
That's right. So all of those things add up, and it causes a lot of emotional stress. But I'm going to say, if that's the only kind of stress that you had to deal with, I bet most people could handle it.
Well, you handle it because you can.
Yeah, but most people, their body would know how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But because the body's hit with all the, like you said, all the emotional stress of living in today's world, and then on top of it, the chemical stress and the physical stress, because 80% of adults have some sorts of chronic pain.
Right.
80%.
Chronic, like forever.
Yeah. Yeah, lasting longer than 12 weeks. And as a chiropractor, I dealt with that all the time. And so we look at the three kinds of stress, and when it all fits together, it causes that overload.
Right.
And the part of the body called the thalamus is part of the brain. It's like one of the parts of your computer where all the sensory input goes into this, and then from there it goes to the brain. So it goes in and it goes up to the brain. Mm-hmm. And the thalamus doesn't distinguish what kind of stress it is. It doesn't say, oh, Andrea, you worked at your son's house too long the other day, and all of a sudden now you've got, all this physical stress. It combines all three types of stress together, and now you start having the overload. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about stress and we talk about stress relief, for those of you that are listening to the call today, think about, what can you do to lower all three kinds of stress at the same time? And so wouldn't it be important to know that using the right kind of shampoo can help lower your stress?
Wow. Tell us about that.
Right? I mean, would you ever put those two together?
No, but if you're talking about toxic overload, especially in women, 65% of their toxic burden is from personal care products.
Right. So they're putting all this stuff in. I mean, what we were talking about lead earlier. Did you know that most women, I forget how many pounds of lead they'll find in their body, but it comes from lipstick.
Yeah. I don't wear any. Yeah.
I always tell people I'd rather have my lead in my bullets and not in the lipstick.
Right.
But that's another subject. So
Always going back to the hunting, guys.
Oh man, that's that. I look outside here and I go, oh, when's hunting season?
At least it's not football.
Right? I could get rid of that. I go to Australia during the Super Bowl anyhow, and so it's playing during the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. But so lead and all these toxic things that you put in your body. Mascara has mercury in it. That's what makes the mascara blacker than black. Did you know that?
It's a good thing I wear brown.
Right? Blacker than black. That's because of the mercury. And then we take a look at antibacterial hand soaps. They have that triclosan in them that soaks into the body, and it doesn't even kill the bacteria, but it's called antibacterial hand soap. Right?
Well, I guess they're killing off your good bacteria in your body.
Well, I don't even think it kills the good bacteria. It just kills you.
It just kills you. Okay.
But all of those things. So that's chemical stress. And so by changing to a safe product in your body, you can lower your stress levels.
Or as many safe products as you can. We talked about introducing things one at a time, slowly switching over.
That's right. Slowly switching over. Instead of drinking energy drinks and all those things that are loaded with toxic ingredients, instead of drinking regular coffee, drink Sizzle coffee. Sizzle coffee has things in it that help with stress, but because of the way that the coffee's processed, with the different things that we're doing to the coffee, it actually makes the coffee healthier.
Right. And no byproducts of toxins, which
right.
are normal in normal coffee production.
That's right. So as we look at those things, and then of course, if you got to, sometimes you just got to throw somebody out of the house. You're out of here.
Yeah, I've done that.
I have too, a couple of times. And that helps lower stress too. And now that's emotional stress, but we won't get into all that again. But the whole thing is that, you want to lower the stress. So Andrea, before, again, we start talking about some different natural things that you can do to lower stress, do you know what the 7 symptoms of stress are? So I didn't give you everything this morning. I didn't preload your computer with everything.
You like to throw me under the bus a lot.
I do, right?
And one person that I know, she's geared up continually, like so geared up that it makes you feel like she wants you to leave when you talk to her. She's just wired. Right.
Yeah. What do they say? They said there's some people that when they enter the room, they brighten the room. And there's some people that brighten the room when they leave.
Yeah.
Right?
Different kind of vibration, though. This is just, she's got tons of high energy, but it's stressful high energy.
Yeah. Well, so the 7 most common symptoms of stress. Number 1 is headaches.
Oh, headaches. That's a good one.
Yeah, number 1 symptom is headache. But what do most people do when they have a headache?
Take an aspirin.
They reach for the pills. They take a pill or a potion or something like that. And they go, they're treating a headache. But the headache actually isn't the disease, is it?
No, it's the result of the stress.
It's a symptom. So it's somewhere around 90% of people have chronic headaches.
Wow.
According to the National Headache Research Association, what's the normal number of headaches per year?
According to who?
The National Headache Research Institute.
Oh. 24. 2 is normal.
2 a year.
2 a year.
2 a year.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm guessing.
When I was a kid, adults were popping aspirin like crazy.
Right.
I have a headache. And they take an aspirin. I have a headache. They take an aspirin. I was like, I have a headache. As a kid, I'm going, they have a headache every day.
Every day. Yeah, I had a patient that came in, and I always, how you always remember certain stories that sticks in your head. It's like this reminder. And I had this patient come in, this young lady came in, and she said that she had headaches all the time and just, She was 18 years old. And I said, how bad did they have to get before you decided to come in? Yeah. And she said, well, I just thought it was normal because mom had headaches all the time too. She just thought that as an adult, you had headaches every day. That was just part of life because her mom had headaches every day.
That's sad.
Right? It was really bad. So when we got rid of her headaches, I mean, it probably really changed her life.
I would imagine.
Probably really changed life. So headaches are the number one common symptom of stress. Number two, what do you think number two is?
I don't know. My brain's not working yet.
Your brain's not working. Well, I would probably say it has something to do with sleep.
Sleep, lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep, not being able to sleep, poor sleep maintenance. Mm-hmm. You know, where you're not sleeping through the night. Maybe you can fall asleep, but you wake up during the night.
Okay.
So sleep is another common symptom of stress. What do you think number three is? It goes along with sleep.
The alarm clock.
Fatigue. Where you don't have enough energy. So that would be the third one. What do you think number four is?
I don't know. You tell us. Why don't you list them off?
Well, I'm trying to get you interactive with this.
I know.
So digestive system.
Okay.
Digestive system. People have problems with diarrhea. They have problems with constipation. They have problems, just gut problems. You know, they say that it affects like 80% of the population.
Well, not surprising based on a lot of our past talks about glyphosates and not getting enough good bacteria in your gut, things like that. All of our guts are screwed up basically, unless you're doing something supersonically special to clean it up.
Yeah. But, you know, so you're talking about glyphosates and chemical stress again. But if you're emotionally stressed out, what happens is your cortisol levels go up. Right. Your cortisol causes problems with the pancreatic enzymes. The pancreatic enzymes cause problems with digestion. All of a sudden, you're left with issues as well, right? Right. And so you kill off your normal healthy bacteria, which now that causes what to go happen to your immune system. Well,
that goes way down. Yeah.
Your immune system starts to tank, right? So you're looking at those types of things. So you've got headaches, you've got sleep, you've got digestive problems, you've got fatigue. How about emotional problems themselves, like depression and anxiety? Right? How about sinuses and allergies? Did you notice that when your kids were little? Did you ever notice that when it came time to finals week, when the finals, they always seemed to come down with a cold?
No.
Right?
I didn't notice that, but
your kids yeah, a lot of people do, because what happens is when they get stressed out, it causes allergies to act up.
Well, too, they're probably up studying late and then not sleeping well because they were studying late. So it all contributes.
It all contributes to all of that. And so you start looking at all the different symptoms of stress and you go, holy cow. So Andrea, how many of those symptoms could you have where you could really just say, oh, it's normal. It's the normal amount of stress?
Oh, I think most of them.
You're thinking that everybody, like you're saying that I could have 5 of those symptoms and you'd say
normal? Yeah, I do.
Well, it's normal in our society, but is it normal?
Oh, no, it shouldn't be. We should be feeling like we have rainbows shooting out of our fingertips.
That's right. Yeah. But so in reality, Andrea, if you have 2 or more of those symptoms, you should start thinking, I might be stressed out.
Okay.
2 or more. How many did you have?
Oh, let me see. A lot, actually.
Yeah.
When I went back to college in the 90s, I had a psych class. We had to take a test. It was one of those, standardized tests to determine your stress level.
Yeah.
Normal was you answered all these questions and they assigned points to them. You added the points up and told you how stressed you were. I think the normal was like 80 to 100 points. I was 460 points or something like that.
80 to 100 was normal. You had over 400. Jeez, right?
It must have been a stressful time, right?
Until my motorcycle accident, I really honestly can tell you that I didn't even really know what it meant to have chronic headaches.
Oh, yeah, I've had those in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I didn't even really understand that. Of course, there was those self-induced headaches that you got on Saturday morning back when you were in college. But
no, I only got a couple of those, and I said, this is not good for my body, so I quit.
Right? It's just not. I mean, it just isn't any fun.
No, it's horrible.
So, yeah. So, but some people, they suffer from those headaches every single day too. But those are self-induced, and again, and that falls in the category of the chemical stress. But so we're looking at all these different symptoms. We're looking at all these different causes. Andrea, what can we do about it?
I think it's called adaptogens.
Adaptogens. Very good. Very good.
What adaptogens? We're going to talk about the benefits of adaptogens, and we're going to talk about where you can get adaptogens.
Yeah. So what are adaptogens? We hear that word being thrown around a lot. I've got a friend of mine that throws it around a lot. What are adaptogens?
I was going to ask you that question.
I know.
Adaptogens help you overcome stress, basically.
Yeah. So what adaptogens do is they're chemical compounds found in nature that help your body so that your adrenal glands can adapt to the stress. Adaptogens adapt to the stress, right? And so do you think that if I got rid of all your stress today and you had zero stress, how long would you survive?
Well, I just was watching videos last night, and they said Dr. Leonard Garante from MIT stated that a little bit of stress is necessary.
That's right. If you take away all the stress out of your life, you'll actually be dead. You need stress because it's the stress on your cells that keeps the cells trying to survive. So you need a certain amount of stress. But we don't need all the stress that we're getting.
No, we're way overstressed.
Yeah. So adaptogens. So in my world, I like one of the adaptogens probably way over some of the other ones. See how I use the effective use of this camera?
You're hilarious.
So, what adaptogen is that?
Well, I'm going to say, is it a new adaptogen for you?
Is it a what?
A new one for you?
No, it's the one I've been using it for quite a while. It's called chaga.
Chaga.
Yeah,
okay.
Chaga. It's a fungus. It's a fungus that grows on the side of birch trees, way up here in the northern climates, up in northern Minnesota and northern Michigan. You probably have some growing out in your yard.
Could be. We don't have very many birch trees left now, but.
Oh, don't you?
No,
I bet if you
wiped them out.
I bet if you went up in UP, the Yooper country, you'd find it.
Maybe.
Yooper. Are you a Yooper?
No, I'm not a Yooper.
You're not a Yooper? No. Anyhow.
Central Michigander.
The adaptogen is called chaga. It grows on the side of birch trees, and it's been used for thousands of years. The Russians actually started using it with their elite politicians. What they consider to be the elite part of the population. Back in the 40s and 50s, they actually demanded that their politicians and their Olympic athletes drink chaga tea every day.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh? Because the The process of putting it into hot water, like in coffee, releases some of the adaptogenic properties of the mushroom.
Okay.
So guess what we do at Sizzle?
We put it in our coffee cafe.
It's in there. It's in there. And some people have said that, oh, I drink your coffee and I don't get the jitters like I do with most coffee. And I feel calmer. I feel like it's making me feel better. I have less headaches when I drink your coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Again, effective camera use. You see that, Andrea?
I do, Doc. I do. So it has some type of acid in it that is antiviral, antibacterial, and helps with inflammation.
Yeah. So guess what other product we have it in besides our coffee?
Well, I'm going to say the tea.
We have the tea, so the coffee and tea. But besides that, what other product?
Chaga. Didn't we have that in TSI?
It's an immune boosting product. I'll give you that hint.
So that would be Avenger.
Avenger, exactly. And you know, last night on the Connect call, they announced that the Avenger is going to be available again in what?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It's like in its production right now, so we'll have it available in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's how popular this product is. We run out of it very quickly, and some of the ingredients that are included, it's not just chaga, it has other things. It's a formulation. That's the important thing that we have to realize when we're working with Tom Maurer Sr. and Tom Maurer Jr. is that they're master formulators. They don't just take and say, oh, here's chaga.
Right.
They formulate.
They synergize it in a formula so that it works more effectively than it would on its own.
That's right. So we take and we put chaga into a product called Avenger. So I sent you some information on another ingredient this morning, another adaptogen. It's called ashwagandha.
Another fungus, right?
And it's found in Avenger as well.
Okay.
It's found in there as well. And so that's another one, an adaptogenic herb that helps again with stress and mental issues, right?
Yeah, and I have in notes based on studies, lowers blood sugar levels, lowers cortisol, increases brain function, and fights symptoms of anxiety and depression.
Yeah, and so it's included in a formulation that originally, do you know what Avenger was originally formulated for?
I think it was Lyme disease.
Lyme's disease. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? So here's a product that was originally formulated for a disease like Lyme. And I don't use it for Lyme. I use it for stress relief. I take it every day.
Stress relief and helping fight off viruses and bacteria. I mean, we have a great information call out there from Tom that explains the absolute power he put in that product, which is amazing.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, when you're looking at it, and let's just talk about Avenger just for a little bit because we brought up two of the ingredients that are found in Avenger. But when we're looking at working with bacteria and viruses and funguses and different things like that cause health issues, one of the things that happens is that the virus, the microbe, it covers itself with a sort of camouflage.
Called a biofilm.
Biofilm. I was going to ask you if you remembered what that was. So it covers itself with a biofilm and it camouflages itself. So now your immune system can't recognize.
It's like you being all dressed up to hunt.
Right? Yeah.
Can't find you out there.
That's what we're hoping is that the deer can't see me. But so these bacteria and viruses, they do the same thing. They cover themselves with this, they cloak themselves with this biofilm, and they're hoping that they can hide from your immune system. And so we also include something in the Avenger that takes the camouflage off.
Right. Dissolves it right off. Right.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
The monolaurin.
Okay.
Monolaurin. Yeah. So
I remember Tom said he'd super put monolaurin in there.
right? Because most people, when they buy a product that's got monolaurin, it's got a little bit in it, but you need a certain amount. You need to have a certain amount of monolaurin in order to melt that biofilm.
Right, and we had an example of that product working on biofilm with Rose.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve, we did that call, or close to New Year's Eve, we did that call. And
right.
She had a biofilm that she had been fighting for 3 years. She was going to a wound doctor to fight this open ulcerous wound she had from biofilm. And you recommended, some products for her, one of them being the Avenger, which is the product that gets rid of biofilm. Her doctor had told her there was no way she was ever going to get rid of that. There was no way to get rid of it. After a year of treating her, after 3 years of having it, it was gone in 2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
Isn't that crazy? That's a good testimony for our product, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yeah. So we won't talk about Avenger anymore. I just wanted to bring that up since we talked about 2 of the ingredients that are found in there. So let's talk more about the coffee and the tea. Let's get back to talking about the coffee. So what else is in our coffee? Something called Bacaba. Bacaba.
I love all these exotic names.
Right? It's kind of sexy to say it in it. Bacaba. Yeah. So Bacaba is found in the coffee. It's found in our Sencha green tea, and it's an herb that comes from a plant from India.
Yes.
And they found that it helps make better connections in the brain.
Right.
The other thing about Bacaba is there's an extract from Bacaba that they found that works with the telomeres. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so as it's helping you with your stress and helping with cortisol, it's also helping with the telomeres. And it's in our coffee.
We're always bringing up how everything is a circle, right, in our body. So telomere length probably gets decreased by stress, right?
You got that. Yeah. Yeah. So another ingredient that's found in the coffee and the Sencha green tea, it's called Gotu-Kola.
Gotu-Kola.
Gotu-Kola, but don't go to Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola. Huh?
Right. Gotu-Kola.
So Gotu-Kola, they find that helps with the brain as well. It helps it so that we have better nerve function.
Oh, that's good. So we have that probably in our brain vitality?
Nope, that's just in the coffee and the green tea. I don't believe it's any in the brain vitality. Okay. Bacaba is, but Bacopa is.
Okay.
Yeah, but so they find that it helps with better brain connections, and they find that people live in a certain region of the world where there's lots of this Gotu-Kola, and they consume it on a daily basis. Alzheimer's is almost non-existent.
Wow, that's right? Important,
right? I mean, is there a connection?
We can't say.
We can't say. There might be, folks. There might be, and it's found in our coffee. It's found in our green tea. Another ingredient that helps with stress is EGCG.
Right, and that's found in our tea, right?
Sencha green tea, right? It's the extract from Sencha green tea, and so that helps with stress. So we've got all these things, and guess what? Most of them are found in
something you can just drink daily. How about that?
Coffee.
Right. And I'll tell you about Sizzle coffee. I've never been a drinker of coffee in my entire life. I tried it when I was 16, and it gave me such a stomach ache that I never even picked it up again. And there you go. And recently, over the last few months, I started drinking the Sizzle coffee. I can drink it black and have it's so smooth. I don't know, they took all the acid out of it or something, but it's so smooth, and I can just drink it black. I have no issues with it. There you go.
Yeah.
And
Well, and it's not that they took the acid out of it. It's because of the type of coffee that we use.
okay.
We use the Panamanian Geisha Bacchetti coffee bean. And there's genetically, there's something different about that coffee bean. It actually is more alkaline versus acidic. And part of it is where it's grown, the region of the world that it's actually grown, where the bean is grown.
Well, I've heard that our supplier also doesn't like shake a tree and get all the non-ripe beans with the overripe beans. They actually get the ones that are perfectly ready to be used.
Yep, they're picking the individual beans, they're picking them and putting them into the product. So we're just getting the right beans that have the right qualities to them. Isn't that cool?
It's very cool.
Yeah, so there's just some products you take, and again, we can't make any medical claims. We can't say that, oh, this, cures this cures that. But what you'll find is that when you're consuming the Avenger, when you're consuming the green tea, when you're consuming the coffee, what you're going to find is that you should be able to handle stress better because your body is more optimized and your immune system is more optimized. And it's all going to work together. Like Andrea said, it's going to all work together.
I have a little hint for the coffee. I had some chocolate sizzling left over, so I put a half a scoop of that in my coffee and mix it up. And I had because I'm a chocoholic, so I had a little chocolate coffee.
Chocolate coffee. My dad likes that. When I was in Australia, we tended to drink coffee that had chocolate in it.
Yeah. Well, we have this. I don't know if you're ready for this, but we have this new product that works with stress and anxiety.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
What is it?
It works extremely with that. It is CBD oil.
You mean this one?
That one. That would be the one.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what. CBD oil, there's so many properties. Were you on the call last night that Tom Jr. and Aaron did?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, they talked about how they're using an extraction process that it's not only good for the CBD and produces a CBD that's the most potent, but because of the extraction process, it's actually healthy for the environment.
Oh, that's cool. Plus, they're not using some of the solvents and stuff that other producers of CBD oil use and put toxins into the product, basically.
Yeah. Did you catch when Tom Jr. said that they're probably going to start, that the Maoers are probably going to start raising hemp?
I did. I saw that.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
I like that. What a great way of producing the best product, because from seed to plant to extraction, exactly what happened to that plant.
Right. Well, they also said that, where their sources are coming from now, they've gone out, tested the soil of that farmer. It's organic, so they have gone out and secured that as being as least damaging, as it can be, got all the certification and everything. So that's good.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so CBD oil, so many health benefits for that, and so we look at the adaptogenic type herbs. When we're talking about adaptogenic type herb, a lot of them come from mushrooms,
right,
and funguses, right? And then we look at like the CBD, and we look at some of the other extracts from plant extracts.
Right,
they come from weeds, so. I think it's kind of funny. I posted that on Facebook yesterday. I think it's kind of funny that here we're finding that some of the most beneficial things for humans are actually funguses and weeds.
Right.
Not these plants that we grow as crops, not the wheat and the corn and the barley and things like that. It's the things that grow wild that actually turn out to be the healthiest.
Yeah, I have a plant growing in my yard as a weed. Everybody's got it, I think. I don't remember the name of it right now. It's a little round-leafed weed, but we consider weed. And I started reading on the properties of that. And I'll go out in the summer and I'll roll it between my hands and get the juice out of it and rub them on the back of my hands. And it makes your skin so soft. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. I went and you have to find out what it is and then see if it's already in the Transfusium or the or one of the other products like the Actify. Tom might have it in there. You'd be surprised at what he's got in that Transfusium. I did a report way back when that came out, and I talked about the 24 different ingredients that are in there.
Yeah.
Plant extracts and a lot of algae type of extracts, things like that. Well, Andrea, you know, we're actually gone overtime by 12 minutes.
That's okay. It was a good topic.
Yeah, I think stress is a great topic. You know, and you know, I mean, what do you think we covered the main points that we wanted to cover? You know, we wanted to get people to understand the 7 symptoms of stress. We covered that. We covered the 3 major causes of stress. We covered some plant extracts and some different things that people can do to help lower their stress with natural products. Exercise, you know, we didn't cover that. Exercise is really, really important. It helps with
It does
stress.
so many things in your body, just
Yeah.
more than you think it does. We didn't talk about supra omega. We touched on gut health, you know, but to keep the gut healthy, because we've all begun to learn that that's kind of like the second brain.
Yeah.
And it communicates with the brain and creates the hormones. So it's creating the hormones that stabilize your stress level or your, what do you want to call that? Your mental state, kind of like you'd look, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, you know, based on your gut health, because
that's right.
Creating different hormones.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually found that there's a direct link between the bacteria in your gut and your brain. It's like a bat phone that calls your brain up and says, hey, Andrea, you're going to have a bad day today.
Yeah, basically. Yep.
But we can talk about that maybe on another call. We can talk about gut health. So, Andrea, I'm going to let you close the call out for today. Everyone, thanks for being with us today. Give us the old thumbs up. Share this with people. Let people know that we're out here and that we're trying to give you some useful information and trying to make it so that you have a healthier life. So, Andrea, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Doc. Dr. Kurt Fiznick, we lovingly call him Doc Fizz, his acquired name. And we thank you for joining us today, or if you saw this on a friend's page and found it interesting, we do the Doctor's Clinic Doc Fizz and Friends call every Tuesday at noon Eastern time. And you can tune in and listen to us live. And if you're working and you're hearing this after hours of when we did it, somewhere you have a connection to a friend who shared that. And you can ask your friend to invite you to the Facebook page, Doctor's Clinic, Doc Fizz and Friends. And then you can go in there and watch this video or past videos that we've done. They're all stored in there as live presentations. And we cover an array of information that's very good, that will benefit your health to have this understanding. And then also, we all work with a company called Sizzle International that has some of the most effective non-toxic products in the world. Yeah, that's my opinion. And so you would want to get back with your friend and ask them, you know, to take a look at those products. So thank you for joining us today. We hope you're enjoying the spring weather wherever you are, or if you're on the other side of the world. I guess it would be your winter weather now. Anyway, have a great day.
Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.